Hey everyone, welcome back to your Nerdy Show. I'm your host, Spoiler Master. Today we're diving into the intense, revelation-packed Yellowjackets, Season 3, Episode 7. This episode was a game changer, giving us so many answers that we didn't expect this early in the season. There's a lot to unpack, especially when it comes to Shauna, both as an adult and as a teenager in the wilderness. And let's not forget the shocking twist involving the new characters and how they intertwine with our original girls. This episode shifts gears from the slow burn we've seen so far, offering answers and leaving us with more questions than ever. So let's break it all down. Who finds the Yellowjackets? The episode starts 3 days before the girls are discovered in the wilderness by the campers. We meet two new characters, Hannah and Edwin. They're a couple out in the wild studying Arctic banshee frogs. Now, if you're like me, you might be thinking, what do frogs have to do with anything? Well, this frog makes a high-pitched shrieking sound, which is eerily similar to the sounds the girls have been hearing throughout their time in the forest. The show hints that it could be a sign of the wilderness calling them, but there's also the possibility that they're all just experiencing mass hysteria and imagining the sounds. Hannah and Edwin are guided through the forest by Kodi, who's a bit more rugged compared to Edwin, who's obsessed with his frogs. Hannah, however, is clearly intrigued by Kodi, and they end up sharing some weed one night, which leads to an accident with their satellite phone. They break the antenna, and this, of course, sends Edwin into a paranoid spiral. At this point, you can already feel the tension building. The team is getting increasingly divided. Edwin starts thinking Kodi is deliberately leading them the wrong way, and he becomes fixated on the idea of strength in numbers, believing that seeing people out there in the wilderness could be their ticket back to civilization. But when he finally stumbles upon the girls, what he sees isn't what he expects.
Oh my God.
What happens to Edwin? Edwin's decision to approach the girls' campsite turns out to be a fatal one. After seeing Ben's severed head on the table and the girls dancing around a fire, he makes the mistake of calling out to them. At this moment, it's clear that Lottie is the one who sees Edwin as a threat. She's completely lost in the wilderness and its influence. Without hesitation, she attacks Edwin, killing him instantly with a weapon resembling an axe. The moment is a pivotal one because it highlights how far gone Lottie is. The wilderness has taken hold of her in a way we haven't seen before. Lottie doesn't hesitate, and it's almost like she's protecting the sanctity of this twisted community that's formed around the girls. But what's even more disturbing is what happens afterward. Lottie's hands and face are covered in blood the next morning, and it's unclear whether she's been feasting on Edwin's remains. The show leaves that question open for now, but it's a chilling moment regardless. Kodi tries to fight back using his bow and arrow to defend himself against the girls. And in the chaos, he ends up shooting Melissa. The scene gets even more tense as the girls scramble to save Melissa, but she's gravely wounded. Shauna, as usual, is pragmatic. She orders Mari and Jen to help Melissa, not to waste time mourning Edwin because staying alive is the only priority at this point. The group also discovers that Melissa's injury is so severe that they can't just remove the arrow. They have to push it through her body, which is horrifying in itself. This is a moment that pushes the girls further into survival mode. It's clear that they're growing more desperate with every passing hour, and their humanity is slipping further away. But here's a twist I didn't see coming. Hannah, the frog researcher who we've been led to believe is just another innocent victim of the wilderness, starts recording everything on a DAT tape. She leaves a message for her daughter, a child she had as a teenager while stranded in the wilderness. This new revelation sheds light on the mystery of the tape we've heard about in the present timeline. Could this be why Shauna is so protective over her family now? What's going on with Shauna in the present timeline? In the present timeline, things are equally intense. Shauna is listening to the full recording left by her younger self and, in a shocking turn, learns about her teenage pregnancy. She then starts digging into the mystery surrounding Hannah, using the internet to find out what happened to her. This leads to her revealing to Jeff that she's going away for a bit. She tells him that he should stay home with Callie, warning him that Callie is like her, curious and intelligent, and that he needs to keep an eye on her. But of course, Callie overhears the conversation and starts putting the pieces together. She's been doing her own research, and it's clear that she suspects something is off about her mother's past. She's starting to believe that Shauna might not be the innocent, loving mother she's always thought she was. And that's a chilling realization. Meanwhile, Misty's up to her usual tricks, but this time she's using a different angle. She impersonates a cop and visits Van and Ty, trying to get them to admit more about their connection with Lottie. Ty, who's already under immense pressure, finally admits that she did meet with Lottie before her death, but she denies killing her, which of course leads to more tension between the group. Misty, always eager to stir the pot, then brings up the DAT tape and reveals that it's Shauna's recording. This leads to a road trip where Shauna, Van, Ty, and Misty set out to find the source of the tape, a mysterious figure named Alex. Shauna is convinced that Alex holds the key to everything. As the group heads out on their journey, tensions continue to rise. Shauna is clearly on edge, and the dynamics between the girls are becoming more strained. During the drive, there's a moment where Van asks Ty if she killed Lottie, but Ty denies it. It's a subtle yet telling moment because it shows how much these women are still carrying the weight of their past actions. The wilderness has affected them in ways that they can't escape, no matter how hard they try.
What's he doing?
Van's health and the growing paranoia. As they continue their road trip, Van's health takes a turn for the worse. She starts coughing up blood, which leads to a terrifying moment in the hospital. It's clear that she's on the brink of something life-threatening. While in the hospital, Van has a vivid dream where she sees herself in a hospital bed in the wilderness. The imagery is haunting, with her younger self burning the bed she's lying in, a metaphor for her desire to escape the trauma that has followed her throughout her life. This dream sequence is a powerful symbol of self-destruction, and it suggests that Van may not be long for this world. In the real world, Ty and Van have a tense conversation, where Ty tells Van that she needs blood to save her. But there's something unsettling about Ty's desire to help Van. Why is she doing this? Is it out of love, or is there a deeper, darker reason behind it? The ultimate betrayal. Back outside, Misty and Shauna have an explosive confrontation. Misty accuses Shauna of killing Lottie, and the tension between them reaches its peak. Neither of them trust the other, and it's clear that their alliance is hanging by a thread. Meanwhile, back at home, Jeff is dealing with his own crisis. He's convinced that there are bedbugs in their house, but Callie, with her newfound research, thinks it's something much deeper. She's starting to believe that her mother might have killed people in the past, and she's struggling to reconcile the image she has of Shauna with the reality she's uncovering. This brings us to the final moment of the episode. Shauna, now completely lost in her own web of lies and guilt, drives off alone to find Alex. She pulls out a knife from her bag, a knife that looks strikingly similar to the one she used back in the wilderness. Does this mean she's willing to do anything to survive? Is she ready to embrace her darker side once again? Or is there more to this story than we realize?
It's you. How long has it been you?
Our nerdy thoughts. So, what do we make of all this? Yellowjackets is taking us down some dark and twisted paths, and episode 7 has left us with more questions than answers. From the brutal killing of Edwin to the revelations about Shauna's past and the introduction of Alex, this episode has set the stage for even more shocking twists. The lines between survival and morality are becoming increasingly blurred, and it's clear that none of these characters will ever be the same again. What do you think? Is Shauna truly capable of the things she's being accused of, or is there more to her story than we realize? And what about the other characters? What's next for Van, Ty, Misty, and the rest of the group? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more Yellowjackets recaps and theories. Until next time.
No, what the heck, I'll laugh anyway.